Hi Sagittarius, welcome to your August 2020 general tarot reading. This is a general reading for the zodiac sign of Sagittarius, sun, moon, or rising sign. If this reading doesn't fit for you, I highly encourage you to check your moon and or rising sign because sometimes your messages will be coming from those videos instead. Also, don't get caught up on genders of the cards. We all have masculine and feminine energy, so apply the roles in people as they fit for your situation. Sagittarius, I'm going to be speaking in the default as you as the main character, but it might be someone you're dealing with, so keep that in mind, and I'll be mentioning that a couple of times throughout the reading. So, Sagittarius, the first card you have is the Nine of Cups. So, I see you being a little self-satisfied in August. Maybe you did a good job on something that resulted in some measure of success and you're proud of yourself, but it's coming off as a little cocky maybe, okay? It's like you're feeling a little too proud of yourself. And Sagittarius, I'm a Sagittarius. My sun sign is Sagittarius, so this is my reading. So let's just stick together as we get through this reading, okay? Because this is for me too. So for some of you, it could be the opposite, where you're experiencing a lot of lack and all you can think about is how you can get more money, and it's your main focus. But I feel like for the most of us, it's some measure of success that has us feeling good, and you might be coming off a little egotistical to people around you. And people could be seeing you as kind of like a spoiled brat for some reason. Some of you might be spending too much money and it's coming off as maybe tone deaf or ignorant to some around you because of what's going on in the world right now. You could also be having some success and you're not satisfied by it, like you want more and more. This could also be overindulgence in food or alcohol, or maybe too much lounging around. But I feel like it's likely for most of us that it's you experience some kind of measure of success and it has you all in your ego and head that you're so great, and people around you are like put off by it. That's what it seems like to me. Okay, so the second card you have is the Ace of Pentacles. This is reading it together with that Nine of Cups, this is materialism, feeling smug and self-satisfied because of your material gain. It could be you being greedy. Maybe you feel greedy, you feel like you need to hang on to what you have. It could be fear of poverty as well that has you in this state. Wastefulness, maybe you have too much and you're not valuing it and respecting it, and you're just, using it willy-nilly. Okay, not needing everything that you have. Maybe what you have and use is way more than what you need, and it's just wasteful. Okay, it could be excessive attachment to money or success. Whether you're having a lot of success right now or you feel like you're in a lack, it's like this attachment to it where it's just preoccupying your space and energy right now. And it's the Nine of Cups. Cups is about your emotional state. So your success or lack thereof, it's kind of in the driver's seat right now when it comes to your emotions. Your emotions are being highly impacted by your material state right now in the month of August. Whether it's an abundance or you're feeling like you don't have enough. I feel like for most of you, you do have some kind of measures of success. You want to know what it is? It's almost like maybe you didn't have anything for a really long time, and then you kind of felt okay, like you would get through it. But now you have a little measure of success and abundance, and now you're hanging on to it tight. And that happens sometimes where we get a little bit of money and then it makes us hold on tighter to money versus when before we didn't have any. So that could definitely be what's happening. And I'm sorry for that honking in the background. That's super annoying. If you guys can hear that, I'm sorry. I have no control over that. So the third card you have is Judgment. So yeah, this is resistance to a new phase of your life that needs to come in right now or pretty soon. It could be growing pains. You're kind of something you were doing or thinking for a while, it just doesn't fit you anymore. It's your old way. And maybe you're having growing pains around this. It's really uncomfortable to let something go. Judgment is about being called to do something, okay? And I feel like you're not embracing it yet. If you feel stagnant or stuck in a rut, Sagittarius, in August, this is probably why. There's a call to change the direction of your life in some way, and like you're not heeding that call. And it's a pretty big thing. It could be a shift in a career. It could be a romantic relationship that needs to end or start. It could be a living situation. It could be different things, okay? So it's going to be different for each of us. In this reading, it's very possibly related to these first two cards that we just talked about, okay? Maybe your preoccupation with success or materialism is pulling you in the wrong direction, and you're kind of being told or warned to not put so much emphasis on that it's not really in alignment with what you should be focusing on right now, is kind of what it's saying. You might be hanging on to success out of fear, okay? Maybe you feel worried about your financial situation. Maybe there's some regret around it, maybe overspending regret. There could be shame or remorse. You made a judgment about yourself or your situation and it's keeping you stuck. It's being stuck in the past over what this is, okay? It's like, you look at the Judgment card with the Phoenix. In this situation that I'm reading, it's like you're laying in those ashes and you're not rising up from them like the Phoenix is supposed to do, okay? You're kind of still laying there in the ashes, not wanting to heed this call, whatever it is. If this is your reading, it'll be clear to you what that is. There's something you're supposed to be doing, but it's not quite happening yet. And the energy for the first two cards could be a big hindrance in this. So the next two cards, we got Ace of Swords, Nine of Wands. These are working together in this reading. So I'm going to give a couple options. Some of you are expecting some fighting or hurtful words to be coming your way soon. I don't know why. It could be related to a romantic relationship where you're like, okay, I'm just expecting for someone to come and just harass me about something. Maybe something at work, you're expecting your boss to come and you're kind of just getting ready for that. It could also be being jaded from stuff in your past. It could be related to that Judgment energy we were just talking about, where you're kind of hanging on to something from the past that won't let you move forward. Okay? And that past stuff is making you expect pain or difficulty from someone or some situation in the near future. Okay? So it could definitely be that. Also, another option is maybe someone is undecided on something and won't give you an answer yet, and that's painful. Maybe you're the one delivering pain and harsh words to someone else and they've been expecting it. It could be either way. I feel like it's mostly you expecting it though. For the vast majority of you Sagittarius, I think that's what it is. So those are a couple of options, but I feel like for the vast majority of us, these two cards together are saying that you're using your energy that's at a disadvantage to you, okay? It's the misapplication of force. Maybe you feel not prepared for what's around the corner. If someone does come to you with harsh words, maybe you feel like you're not ready for it. Or maybe this Judgment energy we were just talking about, where there's something you're supposed to be doing and you're not quite doing it yet. Maybe you feel like you're not prepared to do it yet. Okay? Maybe you feel like there's obstacles in the way that seem insurmountable. You might be feeling isolated or overwhelmed or exhausted by circumstances that make you just not be able to handle the situation. Yeah, it's like you feel like the odds are stacked against you. Like you feel like I can't do this. The odds are stacked against me. I'm not going to be able to do this. And whatever it is feeling this way, it's zapping your energy. You feel like you're at a disadvantage in some way. It could be not, like I said, not using your energy in the most efficient way. Okay? There's something about the way you're expending your energy and doing work every day that is exhausting you. And there's a better way, you're just not doing it yet. And You need to figure out what that way is what the advice is. Okay. The other advice is to be flexible. You might need to abandon a current course of action and find one that's not so exhausting or that just fits you better. So don't be like, well, I already said I'm going to do it this way and I'm already going to do this, so I'm just going to do that. That's not going to work here. You need to be open to adjustments. Okay? Otherwise, you're going to stay in this exhausted energy probably. Some of you might feel like you've bitten off more than you can chew and you're dealing with that. So you have to accept that and figure out a new way, like I said, something new to do. Yeah, it's just really strongly just not using your energy in the best way. You're making something harder than it needs to be, more burdensome than it needs to be. So the last card is the Three of Pentacles, and this is great news. This is a great card to get after these other two, because it's telling me that you do figure out a better way. Okay? And this involves careful, steady work and letting others help you for some of you. Okay, letting go of that ego a bit so people can come in and help. So that could be working in collaboration with others. That's not Sagittarius' strong point. I can attest to that. As a Sagittarius, we hate group work. It's a huge cringe thing for us. We hate that. We just want to go and do it by ourselves. But what ends up happening is that we miss out on growth opportunities. Like, I've seen that now because we don't want to be with all these other people because other people bug us most of the time. Most people bug. It's true. It's the Sagittarius thing, okay? But you're starting to figure out that others can help and they actually have valuable input. You're starting to see that. It doesn't mean you're going to come be this great, big, always want to be in a group person. It's not that. It's just you're starting to see that there's value in listening to others and working with others. Okay, where before you didn't really want to do that kind of stuff. This Three of Pentacles is also about using your talents. So listen, this Ace of Swords and Nine of Wands energy we just talked about, you were, like I said, you were using your energy in a not very efficient way. It's like you were trying to do things a certain way that didn't work for you. The Three of Pentacles is saying that you kind of embrace what your talents already are instead of trying to make something work. Like you were trying to maybe copy what other people were doing or a certain way that you already decided. Maybe you read books or watched videos. You're like, okay, I'm going to do it this way. But it doesn't work for you. It's not your individual style. So you need to strengthen the strengths you already have, the skills and talents that you already have. And that's what's going to make you be able to get out of this rut in the judgment energy and move on to do what you're supposed to be doing. Okay? So the work or the project becomes so much better and easier when you focus on your talents instead of trying to make something fit a certain way that doesn't work for you. Like I said, you maybe wanted to do something similar to what others are doing. Like you wanted to follow like a textbook example of how to do a certain thing. But it needs to be your special way, Sag, okay? You need to embrace your unique way and skills, which definitely as a Sagittarius, it's going to be some odd, strange way of doing something, but it's just how you do it and what you're good at. When you do it that way, when you embrace your skills and talents and strengths that you already have, you're not going to get so drained and things will become so much easier. You're going to get out of this Nine of Wands, Ace of Swords energy where you're just getting so drained because you're trying to do something in a way that you think was the best way to do from like I said, book learning or videos, but it doesn't work, okay? Yeah. And this is related to that judgment energy, I feel. Like you're figuring out what you're really supposed to be doing and it's going to work because it's going to fit you as an individual. And you'll know that it's that because things will become so much easier. It'll be like in a flow. It won't be you like dragging your ass to do something because you're trying to do how so-and-so does it. You're a Sagittarius. It's going to be a different kind of way that a lot of people might not understand, to be honest. But it'll be your way and it'll work for you and that's all that matters. So I feel like it's really likely this has to do with some kind of work or project. Okay, for some of you it's relationship, but I think the vast majority of you, it's some kind of work or project related. Okay, could have to do with school. Could have to do with school, like learning and writing papers, something like that. Okay. For some of you, it's just how you run your household. If you're like just a household runner, if you're like a mom or a dad and running your house and kids and cleaning, and it could be that. Okay. So I pulled an additional card for just like the overall message takeaway for this reading. And this is from a deck of cards that's only the major cards and the aces. And Sagittarius, you got the Hermit. So this card, if you look closely, this is a bear. He's blind. You can see clearly in his eyes that he's blind. And he's cloaked with this mountains on his head, right? He's concealed. So you're being asked to kind of close your eyes in silence and solitude and let the wisdom and lessons of your many journeys come in to teach you. You kind of need to step back, and this has to do with that Three of Pentacles energy, where you need to stop and go inside and figure out what your unique ways of doing things are that work for you and your talents and abilities. You need to be able to close your eyes and do that, because you've spent all this time accumulating knowledge and experience, and that's made you just trip on your feet as you run ahead. You need to stop and close your eyes and be like, what's already here inside me that I haven't yet harnessed the power of? Okay? So you need the company of your soul. You need to stop and listen. Stop filling yourself with more stuff. You need to absorb everything you've already learned and been through and see what that is trying to tell you. And that's going to help you figure out what you're supposed to be doing with that judgment energy and how to work in the most efficient way for you with that Three of Pentacles. What works for your unique style and your energy, Sag. Because you're a Sag, it's going to be different than the way a lot of people do stuff. So that's what I have for you, Sagittarius. I hope you liked this reading. If it resonated for you, please let me know in the comments below. That's really helpful for me. And if you liked watching this video, please like, share, and subscribe. I would really appreciate it. So thank you, Sagittarius. I'll see you later in the month with the other readings. Okay, bye.